Puppy, sit down. The camera's not on. Nobody can see you. Let me be great. Let me be great. Sit down. Let me be great. Anyway, I just want to talk about prior bad acts and how they are utilized in a court of law, either during the trial or during sentencing. Well, sometimes a prosecutor, in order to bolster its case, they will bring in prior bad acts. Now, it's up to the defense counsel to argue that bringing in these prior bad acts may be extremely presidential. Why can I say the word tonight? Wake up, mouth. Wake up. It can prejudice the jury against the accused, the defendant. But most times, if those acts are close in time, the judge will allow it in. And in the case of sentencing, judges will take in consideration. Let me go back. They got to be similar in nature to the charges or the behavior that the defendant exhibited that led to the current charges for which he or she are in trial for. So fast forward to sentencing. Either there's a plea of guilty or an adjudication of guilty by a jury or a judge in a bench trial. A bench trial is a trial where the judge makes the determination of guilt and innocence without a jury. Okay, so the judge can take into consideration prior bad acts. They don't have to necessarily be similar. It's just that a pattern of behavior where, and those prior bad acts can include previous felonies. Some judges can even go back to sealed juvenile records to establish that a particular defendant has a history of not respecting laws. I say that to say this. A lot of you don't understand that patterns of behavior that you're done for the last, let's start from 2014 to today. If you're doing it, no, let's just go back to 2020. 2020, because that's around the time everyone started losing their mind. I don't know if it's from the vaccine. I don't know if it's just a spirit of meanness in the air. I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know if people flexing for the cell phone cameras or the computer cameras. I don't know what's the problem, but we have come to a point where everybody acting like middle school children. Mean girls and mean boys. And because you are not attorneys or paralegals or even legal secretaries, you don't understand that behavior that you think is funny, entertaining, worth quick clicks and views are actually felonies. And the problem is no one has held you accountable. YouTube cannot say that they have not been warned, because I know some of you can show where I know the way you dox that you have sent information to YouTube a long time ago. YouTube can play dumb all they want to. Okay? I know some of you let people let YouTube know of their behavior, even if it's just flagging a video. YouTube can't play dumb. Well, we weren't informed. Well, you make it so hard for people to get information to you, especially prior to this year. But all that's going to change. I promise that's going to change. Because you can't have AI policing the internet. You need actual human beings that can think. Because this is getting serious. I'm not just talking about the beef sector. I'm talking across the board. Because I can't get out of my head of a mother singing "I Will Always Love You" at her son's funeral because the internet trolled that young man. Now, parents, we got to see that would not have happened to my kids. Because, see, my kids are not on the internet like that. I gave them enough attention that they don't have to get on here and show their ass. But some people crave attention, crave to be loved, and so their self-esteem is not intact. Everything is built on what they do and not who they are. So when the internet trolls come, it's too much for them. That young man had lived his life the good way, and he crashed out. Nobody didn't know how to help him. And seeing his mother sing "I Will Always Love You" because some internet trolls who were low life, who failed themselves, who parents failed them, thinking that because they could be anonymous, some of them weren't even anonymous, trolled that boy because the prosecutor, who was trying to make a name for herself, brought some chunked up charges when all she had to do was look at the videotape. There was no need to indict that boy that quick. And guess what's going to happen to her? I pray she never, ever get a good night's sleep. I hope every time she closes her eyes, she see that young man laying in a coffin. Because it was her fault. And those trolls, I hope those trolls' fingers crawl up and fall off. When I saw that, I said I have to make this world a better place. At least try. So for you to keep playing the reindeer games, for you, because you failed to go and get some serious help, being a troll is not the answer to dealing with your childhood traumas. The hatred towards your parents, the hatred towards yourself, the hatred towards your children, your children's hatred towards you. I'm done. Have a nice day.